Yes, we have in recent years already produced two stamps, one showing a satellite and an asteroid, and the second one showing an asteroid but in its 3D effect, and which has been really a success because our social media really exploded when it was presented on Asteroid Day. Yeah.
That's great, that's great. And so, Emile, this year you actually decided to do something different for the stamps that are issued out of Luxembourg. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, when we were discussing about issuing new stamps, and then we thought that it is impossible to put all the aspects of your work on one stamp. So we decided to have three, and we would. This year we have the topic defense. Next year we will have the topic discovery, and the year after driven resources. And we also thought that it would be maybe a change in presenting the stamps, because we had very realistic presentations of asteroids the last two times, and we thought it should be more graphically, something interesting graphically, which could also be used over 3 years. And we found Reza, a designer, and he took care of that.
That's great. Now, Reza, you had a really beautiful set of stamps that you've developed as part of this series. Can you kind of walk us through your creative process as you were trying to think about how do I represent asteroids, the theme of defense, discovery, and resource utilization?
Sure. The challenge was to create a consistent series for the following years. So we designed these two letters, A and D, which represents, of course, asteroid days as well as the three subjects, to graphically represent the form of an asteroid in a simplified way. So this year's theme is defense. So as you can see, we have designed the vastness, the boldness of the type represents, of course, the vastness of the space. And it's printed in black and chrome.
It was really spectacular when you showed us the first set of prototypes for this. Can you talk a little bit about actually the foil part of this and how you sort of integrated the idea of minerals or the foil as in metal into the design? Because it's quite stunning.
Yeah, we wanted to have this, well, kind of technological effect. It's difficult to have this on paper, so that's why we choose a technique called hot foil. And with the help of Carter and Emile, we managed to put this, because it's quite unusual to have hot foil on stamps.
We have it on stamps, but we have it not in such big
quantities, you know?
So it's normally used in very small effects. It's just maybe a star or something like a twinkle on a stamp, but use it in such a big on big scale. We did never have that, and it was and Cartor is a printer, and they had a challenge with that too. But I think they did a really good work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you've been supporting Asteroid Day with issuing these stamps each year. At the end of the 3 years of this series, what are you going to issue then?
Well, that's up to new negotiations, I would say, because then we have covered, let's say, certain aspects. We love this topic. It's not so many posts that deal with asteroids, so we are among the few ones who deal with that, and it's for us a good visibility to work on that. Also for Luxembourg, because we have this space resources initiative of the Ministry of Economy, and we also are there to support these activities of our government. And I certainly see that we will find new ways and new ideas of how to support the idea of Asteroid Day and space resources in some way or another.
That's fantastic. So my mother is a philatelist, and she's been very thrilled to receive these Asteroid Day stamps over the last years. And we're going to be presenting a beautiful printed poster later on this evening at our Asteroid Day Gala for all the speakers who are presenting here today for Asteroid Day. And we look forward to figuring out how we're going to raffle that off. We're going to actually have a contest to see who can guess the weight of a meteorite. a metal meteorite, in keeping with the theme of the metal from the stamp that you created. So with that, I would love to, is it possible for us to see some of the prior stamps that we put up? I don't know if our team has them. Probably not. Okay, great. So tell me a little bit more about the role of supporting the philatelist community with all of your custom stamps that you do here at Luxembourg.
Well, we have a mission we received from the state of Luxembourg to issue stamps, and they have to cover a wide range of topics. And it's mostly commemorative stamps, but also stamps about the development of Luxembourg itself. That's why we are so close to space resources and Asteroid Day. And so that's our mission, and we try to fulfill it as good as possible. And I think from what I hear, we are quite successful in that.
That's great. That's great. And what other themes have you carried over multiple years through the stamps that you issue here in Luxembourg?
Concerning the field of asteroids or
Other
space
fields,
resources?
others.
Oh, you know, there are the typical ones, all the commemorative stamps for all the big organizations receive after a certain time of existence, at least 50 years, they receive a stamp if they ask for. But also we tackle with architecture, with culture, with folklore, with but also with the fauna and flora. We have issued about 2,500 stamps over the last 150 years. So I think every possible topic has once been tackled already. So, but there are always new ways of presenting it because there's an evolution. There's style is different, techniques are different. So even if we repeat topics sometimes, it's always in a different style. It's never repeating in itself simply as that.
That's great. That's great. And I know that when you started your design challenge, the idea of designing something so small was a bit of a challenge, yeah, having done large form work.
That's why I did big letters on a small size.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, for designing such a beautiful stamp. Thank you for supporting Asteroid Day through the public production of these beautiful stamps over the years.
That's a pleasure.
And now we're going to go to Stuart.